What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today's video is the first episode of a three-part series where I'm gonna go over how to build a website completely from scratch. Today's episode, I'm gonna show you how you can purchase your hosting account and your domain name on GoDaddy so you can get started with the basic components of a website. So let's go over that right now. Before we get started, I want to go over a common misconception. What a lot of people think is that just registering a domain name, they can already build a website, but there's actually additional fees to websites, and one of the main components that you will have to purchase when you're making a website is web hosting. And what I want to go over now are the three basic components of a website that you have to take into consideration before you get started building out a website completely from scratch. So number one, a website is composed of files. It's a series of files. Some of these files are things that you might be familiar with, like JPEG files or PNGs, like photos and images, but there are other files called HTML files or PHP files, which are pretty much the language that a browser is something like Google Chrome, Firefox, or Safari that you might be using to navigate to websites. HTML and PHP is a language that speaks to those browsers to showcase those files, which are the pages that you see when you navigate to a website. Now, these files have to be stored somewhere, and where they're stored is a web hosting account. A web hosting server is pretty much a special computer that is built to serve up this information to a browser so that it can show these web pages, which are your web files, to the person that is trying to navigate to your website. See, what happens when you buy a domain name, you're pretty much creating a shortcut, an easy way for people to remember the address of your site. Really what happens when you buy a hosting account and you store these website files, it's actually stored in a server that has a number. That number is called an IP address, and that's the actual real address of your website. What you do with a domain is you're actually masking that number to make it easier for people to find your website and navigate to it. If you think of it as an example, imagine instead of giving someone the longitude and latitude of the location of your home, you're actually just giving them a shortcut link to the Google Map listing that'll give them the directions on their GPS to get there much faster. The point here is a domain name makes it easier for people to remember how to get to your website, and it points it directly to that IP address, the actual real address of your website, to show those files that I mentioned to you earlier that are actually your web pages. So the main things that you're gonna need to purchase when you're starting out with a website are your domain name, and a web hosting account is usually accessible through a domain registrar or hosting services that you may like. The reason why I'm using GoDaddy as an example is because most people are familiar with that service and their customer service is pretty good, fairly affordable for everything that you need to get when you're first starting out. So GoDaddy's a great option, but if you have other hosting accounts that you want to take into consideration and you want to purchase on those accounts, it's going to be similar steps to what I'm going to show you now. So let's go through the steps of purchasing a web hosting account and a domain name on GoDaddy. Okay guys, the first thing you want to do is navigate to GoDaddy.com. Then the next thing you want to do is navigate to the web hosting page. Now on the web hosting page, you're going to see various options. The option that I would recommend when you're first starting out is to get the deluxe package. The economy package is cheaper, but it only gives you the ability to build one website. By paying a little bit more, you actually can build as an unlimited amount of websites on this server. So I would definitely recommend going with the deluxe package or above. Now click add to cart. Once you've added the web hosting package onto your cart, you're going to see various options accessible for your web hosting account. One of them is, by default, GoDaddy registers you for 36 months of the web hosting account. Now you can lower that amount if you want to pay a little bit less, but when you think about it, there is a cost savings by going for a longer period of time. And for the most part, if you are dedicated into making this website, you're gonna keep that up every single month for a very long period of time. So if you actually get the cost savings, it's kind of worth it because you're always gonna be paying for hosting. It's a necessary cost for a website. Once you've selected the term in which you wanna pay for the hosting account, then you'll see other options like website backup, SSL security, For those options, I would just skip those options for now. I'll go over that in a separate video. Those are definitely things you might want to take into consideration when building a website. But for now, we're just going to go with the basic components that you need to get started at the lowest cost. Once you've selected your options for your web hosting account, it'll navigate you to the payment page, where there you can actually search for a domain name for your website. So go into the search bar and search for a domain name. I would recommend searching for a .com domain. It's the industry standard. It's something that most people are familiar with. There's going to be various other options like .marketing, .web, .net. Those are great options for marketing, and if you think about it, yeah, could it help people remember your website much easier? Of course, but for the most part, most people are just familiar with .com, and it gives you a sense of authenticity when you have a .com domain name. What I would recommend if you want to consider those other domain name extensions is you purchase that as an extra, but don't sacrifice getting a .com when you can get it. So search for a domain name in the search bar and we'll add that to our cart. Once you found your domain name, click buy and it'll add it to the cart. So now you have the basic components of the website added to your cart. You will now either create an account or sign into your GoDaddy account if you already had one and complete the purchase process. Something to note, when you buy a web hosting account, it comes with email already attached to it. So you can actually create your own email account with your domain name already included when you purchase this web hosting. So that's an added plus, and you don't have to pay for an additional fee when you're doing this. So there you go, guys. Now you have a GoDaddy account with the basic components of a website so you can start building out your website. So next video, I'm gonna go over how to install WordPress and select the theme so you can start building out the pages of your website and designing them. So stay tuned. This is something you don't want to miss. Again, this is the first video of a 3-part series. And if you found this video useful, make sure you like and you subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos just like this and continue on with the series with me. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching my YouTube video. If you guys found the video useful, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, make sure you check out my blog at bryanlozano.com/blog, where you can get more information on the topics I covered in this video, plus more. Also, subscribe to my newsletter so you can get all this information sent directly to your inbox the moment I put up brand new content. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.